I've got a friend today I met on the train going down to Wacol, and that was 58 years ago, and we're still mates today. So that was what I liked about the being a national service. I was assigned to RAASC, the Royal Australian Army Service Corps, and that entitled me to be consigned to the 9th Field Ambulance here, and that's where I spent all my 8 years. We got the National Serviceman's Medal, and that was when you completed your 5 years obligation to the government, and then they then later brought out the Defence Medal, and that was 4 years continuous service. You get that army experience, for the camaraderie that you get, the discipline that you've got to accept. You don't always like accepting it, but you've got to accept it. I can remember the first day we got to Wacol to our basic training, a big sergeant walked out, all spick and span, you know, with his polished brass and everything. And he said, "My name is Sergeant Love, L-O-V-E. And he said, and I'm looking around, he said, I can see there's a lot of little mummy's boys here. He said, I'm going to tell you something. He said, you might have broke your mother's hearts, but you will never break this one of mine." And by golly, he was...
I saw combat. I had friends killed. I was conscripted on the 28th of September 1966, and I was 20. I remember I was working as a pipe layer at the time, and another friend of mine was working with me who had the same birth date, and we both knew that we'd been conscripted because people who were not conscripted had already been notified. We lived in an era where all our parents were Second World War people, and if I had been a conscientious objector, my father would have said, well, where are you going to live? Because the whole street were returned servicemen, and you'd have been labelled a coward. I drove an armoured personnel carrier. The hardest thing for me was probably, like everyone, leaving home. The protests, well, I came home and a friend of mine, I was in a surf club with for some years and played football and cricket with him, was at university, and he was a anti-Vietnam protester. We came to fisticuffs, so when I came home, he accused me of shooting women and children, which didn't happen, and we've never been friends since. There was two folks did that. Nearly everyone I know has had problems with. I only know one person out of the hundreds and hundreds of blokes I know who went to Vietnam who is still with their original wife. Everyone had trouble adjusting to coming back to a normal relationship. I've received 5 medals and awards for my service overseas. It's just a beautiful photo.
Yeah.
So they sat on the top with a gun and you sat up the front